happy anniversary. I'm Tom Meisler, and we lived over in Northeast Houston. And my son Ray was going to go into junior high school. Well, we wanted him to go through both high school, junior high and high school in the same system. We knew over Northeast that it was not it. It was a poor area and we didn't want it. Humble did not have anything for Pat. Aldine was a prairie, and the only one place that had anything was Conroe. So we wanted to move up here. So we moved up here to Conroe into Oak Ridge North. When we did, we were here and we went to church, the Methodist church in Conroe. They were friendly, but they really didn't want us people from South County. So it was in September, I called up Emmett Dubberly, who was the not district, he was the board of missions, charge of board of missions. And I told Emmett, it was on Friday, I said, if we can't become a Methodist church down here, we're all going to become Baptists. And he says, Tom, I'm glad you called, because he says, you know, our portable building is ready, and that we have that land south of Sawdust on 45, and we can do it. Can we meet? Tuesday? Oh, sure, I guess. And I had arranged it on 45. There was the Presbyterian church just south of my shopping center, where everybody met then. It's gone now. So I got together and I told Arlene, I said, I'm in big trouble. He says, the only Methodist I really know is Finest Wilcoxon. So I called him up and told him what our plight was and what was going to happen. They wanted me at 6:30 that Tuesday night. It was in September. So, no, it was in late September, 1st of October. And so we started talking around. Well, Tuesday night, out here, came a cold, frog-killing, nasty weather. And I said, we're probably dead because nobody will show up. And lo and behold, that Tuesday night at 7:30, we had 20 Methodists show up. And we formed the Methodist church then. I forgot what lady it was that named it Faith Church, but it was Faith United. Our first minister was a man named Marvin Agnew, fantastic preacher. Well, when he first started, they didn't have the building out here, so we had to meet on Robinson Road in Hannah. There's what is it?
Community center.
Community center there, and that's where we met. And it was kind of interesting because here we were, we'd be singing and all our sermon, and all of a sudden a train come by, and we either had to quit singing or he had to quit preaching until the train went by, because that's how we started off. Then we got to church over on the portable building in the south of Sawdust. We were there until they wanted to sell that land, so they ended up on Sawdust Road, south of Booty. There was 9 acres. We bought that land there and were paying for it. And all of a sudden, on that 9 acres, a commercial man wanted to buy the 4 acres right at Booty. And what they paid it for, paid all our money off. We didn't have a whole dime. But the problem was, our church was not a young church. I think we have 4 or 5 teenagers all. All the other were old people that didn't have to give a dime to the church because there was nothing to give to. And we had frustrations. There was 2 other ministers who I don't remember were there. And then all of a sudden, John Reason came to the Methodist church, and through him we got to looking for a church over here, and we found the land here on Rayford, and John Reason came in, and he was our first minister here, and he was here for I forget 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden they would transfer him to A&M, and he went there, and when he did, Harry came in as our minister.
And he's been here ever since.
And he has been here ever since. And of course, on a little bit of other history on it. And moving out here, I had my oldest son, Ray, and then my youngest son, Tom. And we, on Rayford Road, there was a place called Mr. Dawkins, is a black man, had 80 acres there. And I got a tractor and I went up and talked to him. I won't go on all of it, but I wanted to do farming. So I leased 80 acres off of him for $5 a year. And I put in a garden and we raised watermelons. In fact, we sold watermelons. Tom had to sit and sell thousands of watermelons on Rayford Road when they were developed in October. At the same time, Tom was looking on Mr. Dawkins' land and he discovered a big bell. And he said, Dad, what's the bell? I said, you don't touch that bell, it's not ours. He said, who I talk to? I said, tell Mr. Dawkins. And he called to Mr. Dawkins, yes, that's our bell. It belongs on our church. Well, they had a black church there at the railroad track on Rayford on the south side right there. There was a barbecue place there now. And that was the black church. So this is all not known to me. Tom went to that church and talked to them about that bell. And he wanted to get that bell and fix it up. And he said, what do you want to do, Ted? I want to put it up on our church. And they finally talked to him and they said, well, I'll tell you what, for $50, you can buy that bell if and only, and we'll have it in the deal, it has to go on church property. And so Tom said yes. And then all of a sudden he appeared, I don't remember a month, and he had, Dad, I want to show you something. And he had cleaned that bell up and painted it and showed it to me. And from there we took and put the church up on the property on sawdust. And we had the bell up there till we moved down here. Well, the bell was still here, but nothing seemed to be done, and I don't know who did. Of course, I got out, you know, I didn't do as many things as I used to.
Did.
But Scouts got the bell and they said, we'll fix it. And they fixed it up, and now it hangs up, and that is the bell that my son Tom Jr. got and fixed up for this church. So there, I guess, is about all I can say about being here.
Well, we've had many, through the years, we've had, the early years were, we had a lot of people. We had a big membership for the only Methodist church out here. And we had big bazaars and turkey dinners. We would cook 20 turkeys and sell every one of them, that and the trimming, in the fall. So that was the beginning of that. And we had a very good MYF during the early years back on Sawdust Road. And the kids went all kind of places, and then as the time went on and the kids grew up and went off, and times changed and our membership lowered, and that's when we decided we need to move location.
Before I came to this church, I served at every position in the Methodist church. We had good times and we had some bad times, but it all came to good. And I think the best thing that's ever happened to our church is coming out here on Rayford Road. And that's about all I know.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
We started the pumpkin patch up on the booty, up on Sawdust.
Yeah.
And then we moved it down here. And that one year we were 2 weeks up there and 2 weeks down here the year we moved it.
Of course, now we're not going to have it because until the virus gets on. I hope and pray to the Lord that this virus gets out of the way, and next year we can go back to some normal things.
I hope so.
Okay.
All right, thank you.